Well, good morning. It's been a while since I've been Facebook Live. On my way to work after a couple days off, which was actually unique. By the way, always love Nirvana. Yeah. I watched parts of the new Batman movie, and the best part of it was they played Something in the Way a bunch of times. Anyway. No, I just want to say hi to the world and send out a little bit of a message, because sometimes I think, now I understand why people go on vacation, because not only does it help you relax, you get a chance to kind of process a lot of things in the back of your head. And, I went to Miami, it was great, but I actually really enjoyed, and strangely I'm finding myself getting emotional. I really appreciated sitting next to the ocean, just looking in the, we partied and we had a great time. The first night we got there, it was planned. It was wonderful. And then we went out there and woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning. And my brother-in-law Mike and I said, you know what? We looked at each other, sat up. Let's go out and take a swim. There was nobody out there at the beach. Beach was completely empty except for us and the pelicans. I didn't know in Florida that pelicans like to fly around out there, and they fly and then they go up in the sky and then they dive down and pick up fish. And I don't know what it was about watching them. It just was mesmerizing. It was just beautiful. And then the sun was shining over the water. It was just a beautiful moment. We went and swam. We forgot about the salt water because we got a mouthful of water, and we're like, whoo. So I don't know. I've never swam in Lake Michigan, but I heard probably either one would probably not be an idea to drink the water, Anyway, my whole point, the reason why I decided to go live this morning, it was just something in the back of my head. And honestly, until I started speaking now, I didn't connect sitting there looking at the ocean in the morning, watching those pelicans, and my own life. There's a lot of people out there who, we're all living our separate lives. Hi, sister. Hi, Mary Catherine. We're all living our own lives, just like me. Stop and go. My little traffic routine here. I'm in stop and go traffic. It's pretty, but it's just sort of like, this is life. I do this every morning. I'm so glad that I have a good job that provides for me and my family, but life is life, and you keep living it, and you realize it's moving forward at a certain speed of time. And then you sometimes wonder, why am I here? And so sometimes you have to go out, sit on a damn beach, look out there for no other reason but to say, hey, there's the beach. They're the pelicans, and they're cool, and they're eating fish somewhere. But my whole point of what I wanted to drive out here, get rid of the commercial, excuse me. The whole thing, of course, the guy wants to, it's okay, buddy, you can trim the road next to me when I'm trying to say something profound. It's all good. All right, let's get to it. It really impressed on my mind that there's a lot of people out there struggling, because when I was sitting outside there at the ocean at this beautiful resort, which, by the way, I didn't pay for, I won it as a prize. I didn't win it. I won it as a prize from my brother, who showed me just a lot of respect and gratitude and said, thanks for all you've done. Well, Newhouse family has had my back through one of the hardest times of my life. My whole family has had my back, but they opened up their house. I've lived with them. It was a beautiful gift that Mike gave me to just be brothers. And I love my sister. She's watching right now. Got my other sisters as well. Being able to hang out with your brother that you never had before, and just be able to experience that love and that gratitude, given a trip to Miami, which is your old company, who you got to leave on good terms with, that taught me everything about the corporate world, that actually proved to be hugely instrumental in preparing me for entering the workforce, because it was my time at UWM at the mortgage company was pretty tough in many ways. I ended well with the security team, but it taught me a lot about the corporate world, and it was tough. It was like going through boot camp. Yeah, I guess I got emotional. I haven't talked about it, so that's why I'm wearing my glasses. It's because of the glare. No, but to get to my point, there's a lot of you out there who haven't hit your vacation yet. You've not been able to sit on the, just hang in there, you know. Life can be really fucking hard. And it might not seem like your life is as hard as others, or maybe your life, you're not giving yourself a chance to say, yeah, I'm going through it right now. I know other people have cancer. I know other people are going through pain, suffering. And I'm just like, I have depression. I have this or I have that. I'm losing my hairline's receding. I'm trying to run and I'm trying to fight my waistband. It's okay because we're all going through a struggle, but I want you to push on, because there will come a moment where you sit at the beach and you watch the pelicans. I never expected that. I actually feel like I didn't even deserve that. I went on a really beautiful vacation, and it wasn't about the vacation. It was just the fact that I went through so much stuff, and suddenly I'm in a new job that really is exactly what I used to do, everything in the Army, and even I'm having fun doing it. Actually, I can wear whatever I want. It's just a positive thing, but it took 3 years to get there. It took a while. It took actually more than 3 years. It took a lot of help. I mean, Christine, everybody. So rather than make this a long rambling video about my life, I want to keep the focus on all you guys out there who are struggling, or maybe people who have struggled, or maybe you know someone who is. Maybe you're going through something hard, and that's okay. Loneliness can be one of the biggest contenders that we all fight against, you know. And a lot of people are lonely when they're surrounded by people. I saw that in Miami. I was actually happy. I was just sitting next to Mike Newhouse, watching the pelicans on the beach, watching the sun across the water. And so the metaphor I got just now when I was driving here on my way to work, stuck still in traffic, over here by Bloomfield Hills. Nice to look at though. The thing that really hit me in my mind was and I'm going to go back to a Bible story, and it's kind of interesting because a lot of people know me. They know that, you know, I used to be Christian, and now I'm sort of an interesting, weird, spiritual eclectica that no one can probably define pretty well, let alone myself. But I go back to the old story where there's a storm. And I really like to take some of the ancient stories, and I like to look at them in a new way. I like to take them, and I like to reform them, and to sort of break open that ancient truth that I think was always there, is that pearl that just got covered up by centuries of retelling and maybe people shaping it to their own ends. That story where there's a group of guys out there fishing, and they're just a bunch of like guys that you'd find on Lake Michigan, you know. They were rednecks. They're out there and they're in the boat, and they probably have their Bud Light in the bottom, and then they are trying to catch fish, and they're not having any luck, and then suddenly they realize that they probably had a couple extra Bud Lights and they didn't watch the sky, and then suddenly it turns into a big storm, and suddenly they're fighting for their lives, and suddenly in the midst of this, you know, it's basically a hopeless situation. It's like the perfect storm, and we've all been in our perfect storms. Suddenly, they see this guy. This is how they tell the ancient story, but they see someone walking towards them on the water, and they see this. They didn't even know who it was. They thought it was a ghost. They thought it was like honestly, we all know who it was. It was Jesus, but Jesus walked into him on the water, and then they're like, what the hell, you know, this is crazy. Who are you? And I think they would say what the hell, because they were fishermen, they were rednecks. And so they're like, wow, you know, how's this possible? And then he actually calls them to step out of the boat and walk on the water. He's like, come on, like, where's your faith? And one of them actually had enough faith to get out the boat and to walk on the water. And when he did, he looked around and he got so scared again, because we don't walk on the water. We surf, we sink, we swim, whatever. So he walks on the water, and then he gets grabbed by that hand and says, you know, basically, keep your faith. And it's been a while since I've read it, so I'm probably butchering it a little bit. But I was thinking about that story, and then I kind of thought of it in a totally different way. And for those of my Christian friends, I'm not editing the Bible. I'm not saying the Bible's not what it says it is. I'm not saying that. I'm not taking the miraculous out. Here's what I believe. Just like I sat on that beach and I saw the light of the sun and made a path across the water, and I saw those pelicans diving in, which, interesting enough, is a sign of salvation, who are also fishermen. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, they're actually fishermen. So when I looked at that light across the water, I saw my own path. And I thought maybe those guys in the boat just needed to look up and look at the light and not the storm. Then they see the sandbar where Jesus was walking out to them. We like to make things into these huge miracles, like the Red Sea opens up, the person, like in the Hindu religions, all the marvelous miracles that are like thunder and lightning and all this stuff. I'm here on Telegraph now. And actually, it's not about that, actually, guys. It's not usually a huge miracle that occurs. It is a huge miracle to us because it's special to us. But when I sat there and I saw that golden ribbon across the water and felt the peace inside my heart and realized, wow, I survived so much. And here I am sitting next to Mike, and I'm sitting here and this is free. This is like amazing. And about to go back on, after my jury duty on Monday, I'm about to go back to my job, and it's all good. We all live that in our lives, and we all live that in such a special way to where when we're in that boat and you're in that storm and you're faced with all these things and you're just holding on for dear life because it is like a roller coaster and you're bailing water and you're saying, I can't do this another second, I can't do it. That's where there's always a light, and the light breaks through. And when you look for that light and you see it, your path's going to be there. It's going to be a path of light that shines to you, and you're just going to keep aiming for that light. Just keep aiming for it, because when you have to get out of the boat, because we all have to get out of our safety net. We have to get out where we're safe. We feel safe. I felt safe being down in Tim and Barrel's basement because I was so messed up from leaving the Army. I was so sad. I felt I lost everything. I thought I just had hit bottom. And, I had to get out of my safety, but I had to go to UWM. And then I was fighting with brass knuckles to try and survive in a financial world job. But I kept my head up. I kept climbing. But what I didn't realize was, and this is long-winded, I'm almost done, that path, that golden path, is real. And it's usually graced by a couple of pelicans who are out there fishing. And you just have to, when you're in that boat, Jesus is walking to you on a sandbar, man. The water's not that deep. You're not going to drown. You're not. Just get out of the boat and keep your eyes on the light. And keep walking towards that light. And don't be afraid, because it wasn't walking on the water. It's walking on a sandbar. But you know what? What is the difference? What is the difference? The thing was about having the courage to get out of the boat, get out of that safety boat, and to walk across what looked to be a stormy sea. And the whole time, like Indiana Jones when he says the step of faith, it's that, guys. I really think that's what it's about. We've taken a lot of cool stories, and I think that was that right there was a beautiful story, because it's such an unexpected, like, oh wow, there actually wasn't, the storm wasn't as bad as I thought. So I've talked too long. I have probably talked 3 times longer than I needed to, but I just want to say that I hope that you take that story with you. I'm a big believer that love and kindness, what some people call God, what others call I think God is love, and that's what I think it's okay to say. Love is God too. And so the great love that surrounds us all just wants us to have courage, to not be afraid, doesn't want us to play it too safe, wants us to take the risk because we're alive, and to get out of that boat, take a walk across the water, because guess what? Pelicans are there. The water's not too deep. The waves can be tall, but the water's not too deep. That's the other thing I realized. I thought I was going to go up to my waist when I jumped in the ocean in Miami. I was like up to my, below my knees, because it looked a lot deeper than it was. So it's a long, rambling Monday message from Michael Burns on his way to work, but I really hope you take with you just a sense of hope and a sense of dedication, a sense of courage, and just commitment. And that's like the Marine Corps motto right there. Honor, courage, and commitment. Tackle today with whatever you got, and just keep going and do your best. If you're in a hard time, don't stay there in the hard time. I mean, stay with the hard time. Keep pushing. You know, I'm repeating myself. So I wish you all the best. Have a great Monday. Ray Catherine, I love you. Just a shout out to everybody out there who's there on their. It's actually now Monday morning. It's a Tuesday. It's my Monday. But let's get it. Let's get every day of the week. Let's get every day we're alive. All right. You guys take care. See you later.